I went back and made a jig board. I will commonly make this. This is the size of the inside of the block of wood, so I'm going to make this as a jig so that my hinge blanks are made out of 7" by 7" oak. They're 3/4. This is a piece of 1/4" plywood. So they'll just sit down there. The dog bones allow me to just put a pry on it. I will take some cams and put them right here, and the cams will be screwed into the table there. And I've got some new cams that's got some locking, so they'll hit right next to the sides of the 1/4" or the 3/4" or the 3/8" blanks, so they'll hold them in there, and then they'll be able to compile that and get that done. Also on my sheets, I modified my sheets just a little bit. I had 4 2/8 for that. No, that's not right. They were 6 inches by, well, I'm a little under 6.5, or right over 6.5 inches. I need to fix that one. It looks like on my dimensions it didn't get quite moved over right. But anyway, so I just basically resized these, so these hinges are considerably bigger. They're almost 6.5 inches long and 6.5 inches wide, so each side they'd be 3 inches. And of course, this right here is where the edging box is, so you need to have a lid of at least probably 2.5 inches lid to get these things to fit on there. So anyway, that's kind of what I've done. I haven't really changed anything else on there, but I'm getting ready to go out to the shop and do some work. All right, a little jig up for my board for cutting some wooden hinges, and around my jig board, and that's a 7x7 pocket. That board's approximately 10. It's a little bit under 10. Otherwise, it's been a little bit wider. It was like a 10x10. This is 7x7, and I trimmed this on the table saw, rip them, and then I trimmed it to a fine adjustment where just barely underneath that. So when it comes time to pull it out, I just loosen the toggles and up she comes. But as you can see, she's very tight. This cam holds this up here. This cam holds it tight there. Same on that side over there. So there's no way to come up. I just secured this to the table when I was setting it up with just pin nails, 1/2" pin nails, so it'll pry up real easy. And we're ready to go. Material's 3/8 of an inch thick. And we're going to route her out and let this tool path run. Got the fingers cut. Cut out the 1/4" notch. It's about an 1/8" deep. That one, come over on the other side of the finger, do the same thing. And I've got those notches cutting out a little wider than the hinges so that there won't be a place this will get hung up. Anyway, so that's about an 1/8", so that should have cut the 1/4" down. This is my first cut. Got my other cut and start cutting the fingers here in just a second. Go around there, we'll pass that on 2 passes. And go around and cut them out. So now we're starting on our fingers. And around there, getting real close to the size of my fingers. Cutting that. And I'm ready to speed up almost to 100 inches a minute. And I'm only cutting an 1/8 of an inch. But I was going down quite a bit less. And this doesn't have any turns in it. So I'm going to shoot a 10 mil in it. Reach over real quick, put my 10 mils in there. Just going through here, cutting out the outside of it. see how she fit. Alrighty, that's what I got from that mess of it running around. I ended up breaking it. And why wasn't it cutting so deep? That is a good question, because we're zero off the top of that. Why that's cutting way down in there. So let me go in there and adjust. I'm going to slow my speeds down a little bit too. So let me go adjust that file. Alright, this first cut, I'm going to go back and modify a couple of things. So I'm trying to figure out, do I want to move my fingers a little closer in to there so that that will close that gap up. But as it is, I won't need to cut those up, cut those off of there, and that will give me room while we're in the notch. Of course, it's hard to do this on camera, but anyway, I was looking at my clearance when it's open, and they're barely there, so I won't really have to sand the fingers because I've got a little bit of an opening there. Let me see what it does here. Alright, I've got a new piece in. I've got it zeroed into the height of my workpiece, and I'm going to just tell it to go to the corner of that, go down there, and I love that about the Shark. Hit that button right there, move the 0, hit it twice, and it takes you right back to the corner, set your depth settings, so you can say, okay, yeah, we're right on track. That is a down cut bit, and we're going to go ahead and get it running and see how it came down. Alright, with the tabs, she went around there pretty good. Took it 4 minutes and 29 seconds to get through there, so I'm pretty pleased with that cut. So let's see what it looks like when I pull it out of there. Alright, there's nothing I can't stand worse than not to have something cut out around it, because I gotta mess with it. So I just put a new blank in there and lowered it down. I could probably put the same back in here in that jig and cut it again and just shoot some pin nails in it. But I'll probably do that just for the fun of it. Just so that I can show I can recut it again, even though it's, you know, got the tabs in it, which the tabs are okay, but the rest of this garbage, you know, that's in there. And of course I could, you know, I've got my scroll saw and my bandsaw in the trailer, so they're not here to use them real quick. Well, some maple, soft maple I think it is, and my fingers broke off because I was wondering about the grain direction. So I'm going to change the grain direction on the next set. And then also on my hinges, you'll notice that my nails are on the opposite side. And if I turn them around the other way, they overlap each other. So I need to make a matching set that goes off with the deal on the other side of it, or take the two together, put that in there, and then cut my router in with the two pieces. That might be something that I would do. Cut my teeth first, put them together, and leave these square, and then cut the outline and this on the next set, so that those would mate up. And there you go. All right, I went back over here and adjusted a couple things. Number one is my toolpath here. Of course, it was set at 75, so I set it to 378 or 3.8. Anyway, just enough to cut through it. And I went in here and I edited my speed to 0.75 as well. And then I went down here and added some tabs to this right here. And let's go ahead and preview all those toolpaths and see what they look like. Reset preview all toolpaths. And so there you see it. Slowed it down, left the tabs in there, or put tabs in there. Generally don't like tabs, but they're sometimes more nuisance than they're worth, but they also save you from breaking bits, as we saw. And of course, it would have been fine, except I didn't have the... Anyway, so my own fault for sure. So that's ready to go, and I've saved my toolpath, saved my files, so I'm ready to go back out to the garage, to the shop. All right, we're cutting the mirror side now. Go around here and do that. I did pull the tabs back out of it. set, I ran the grain parallel with the fingers. So they're running the grain parallel with the fingers. But what that does is that makes this a weaker joint. So the next ones, next set I'm going to put the cut with the grain running the other direction. So hopefully that will keep these little ends from breaking off, because this will be long grain this way. So that's something I'm figuring out. All right, when your material's a little bit thicker than 3/8 and you got to sand that down that much, it's nice to have this guy here so I can run that through and get rid of the onion skin that's holding that all together. So let me get that done. All right, got her sanded pretty thin there. Just about take it apart now. Pull those things off of there and get your ends in there, so that's a pretty good shape. Get that done. All right, mirroring them sides is a good deal. After you glue them, you want to be sure and swab the hole with a dowel, each one of them, and then after it's been glued up for 10-15 minutes and there might be dripping, run it through there again. I mean, you can run a drill bit through it, after the fact, but pretty much you got a hole there, a drill bit's going to follow through it. But I've had a couple of them that wandered out. So what's nice about this is that hole's straight, the hinges run straight. You run a drill bit, if you run a big drill bit, you can keep it straight, but a little drill bit is pretty much wander. Like a 1/8 inch bit, it'll wander 1/2 inch time it gets to the end of that thing. So cutting that out worked out good. My mirroring went well, so that way I used all of my hinges up and created 3 sets, or 2.5 sets, I guess is what I've got, or no, 2 full sets, and then I have an extra blank over there. So here we go. The only thing is when I didn't put the tabs in there, I forgot about it, and of course it went haywomp on me, but it didn't take me long to listen and put a couple little brad nails in it, or not brad nails, but pin nails. So got to make a reminder to put my pin nails in that. There we go. All right, that's them just installed. I have yet to cut the kerf on the box. I'm gonna go ahead and put the latch on the front and cut my kerf. But anyway, there we go. That's what they came out like. These could be cut down, where this goes down at an angle, where you could just sand this down to where this isn't very thick. Probably keep the thickness of here as much, but you just draw kind of like a little angle here, and then bring it back down to a spin. These can also be drilled in, put in with brass screws, drill in with a screw, and then put a dowel in there. Did make these out of some maple I had, and then the front latch I'm going to make out of a piece of walnut. So I'll put another piece of walnut like that. It's going to look something like this. These will act as a hinge, so when like you're picking it up, it'll give you something to hold on to while you're moving it. Anyway, these boxes have been lasered. That's all box jointed, 6-sided, and I mean they're stronger and strong. They haven't been sanded at all, so I've not laid any sandpaper on this at all. So that's the boxes. They're not quite cubed, but yeah. So that's that deal there. They work real well. That's a straight on deal with that. So yeah. So they work good. I think I'll pull it off so you can see what I'm talking about. All right. There's the hinges in there in action. Moving them like that. And this one here, the other one just flops back and forth real easy. This one here, when I lined it up, but it won't take long to where it flops back and forth. There's really no play this way, like this. There's not any play. So just a little bit of play this way. And that's all depending on the dowel. That is a round dowel and a square hole. And so yeah, there we go there. And there's the square part of it. I'm kind of thinking about, I don't know, maybe doing this a little bit differently. Maybe cut this into the lid and anchor it down into that. I don't know. We'll just see. I do it a little bit differently. Okay, it's important to keep your fingers flush with the top of wherever you're going. And the pin doesn't necessarily match so much because it's going to be offset for how far it travels. Anyway, so it's stiff. I just now put that on there, so I can take this off and sand them up to where they won't make any noise. But I'm going to put inside. I'm going to put these things here that bring it into alignment, so that when it comes in, it sits down in there. It also makes the box somewhat watertight that way. Anyway, that's coming together there. Those are maple. I'm not sure how they're going to do. They've got a pin in them, and like I said, they're rubbing against that oak right there on them little fingers. So if I want to take that out, just pull the pin out and pull this out right here. So, all right, just a little bit of sanding. It's a whole lot wider. I mean, I just barely touched it with that thing, so that's good. Of course, the whole box is going to need to be sanded up good, and there we go there. So I need to put those in. Let me fine tune that one just a hair over there.